Have you ever felt it? The chemistry is ridiculous. The messages are nonstop. They look at you like you're the only person in the room. And then the moment the relationship starts to mean something, they suddenly need space, feel overwhelmed, or vanish into that mysterious fog called busy. These people aren't always heartless. Often, they're the ones who love hardest at the beginning because the beginning is safe. It's all possibility. No pressure, no promises. But the second love asks for structure, labels, plans, responsibility, meeting the family, building a future, their nervous system interprets it like a trap. In astrology, this fall in love and run pattern shows up in signs that crave freedom, fear being controlled, or associate commitment with losing themselves. They don't leave because you weren't enough. They leave because seriousness forces them to face what they're avoiding: vulnerability, accountability, and the scary question, what if I fail at love? A key secret: the chase isn't what they want, clarity is what they fear. To love them correctly, you don't beg, corner, or punish. You build a relationship that feels like choice, not captivity, honest conversations, gentle consistency, and a pace that lets trust grow without panic. Gemini: the I felt it, then I thought too much runner. Gemini falls in love through the mind first, conversation, banter, the feeling that you get them. They can be intoxicating, curious, playful, emotionally bright. But when a relationship gets serious, Gemini's fear isn't commitment itself, it's stagnation. The moment they sense routine, heavy emotional expectations, or constant "where is this going?" pressure, their mind starts searching for exits. What scares them in seriousness? Feeling trapped in one version of themselves, emotional heaviness that leaves no room to breathe. The idea that love equals losing options, friends, freedom, spontaneity, fear of being misunderstood and then criticized for it. Why they stay single the longest. Gemini can always find someone interesting, but choosing one path means closing 10 doors, and that's their nightmare. They often date potential rather than build a stable base. How to build a relationship with them correctly: keep communication light and honest, no interrogation. No games, give them variety. Trips, new experiences, shared projects, learning together. Be consistent without being clingy. I'm here beats explain yourself. Make commitment feel like an adventure, not a sentence when they dare to start a family. Often later than others, commonly around 29-35, after they've lived enough life to realize freedom without depth gets lonely. They're most drawn to Libra, Aquarius, Aries, Leo. Sagittarius, signs that keep life moving and don't suffocate their curiosity. Sagittarius: the I love you, don't cage me runner. Sagittarius loves like a wildfire, bold, sincere, generous, optimistic. They'll make you feel chosen, admired, expanded. But the second the relationship becomes serious, they don't hear romance, they hear rules. Sag is terrified of being controlled, judged, or slowly shrunk into someone else's expectations. What scares them in seriousness? Possessiveness, jealousy, emotional manipulation. A partner who needs constant reassurance. The fear that their life will become small and predictable. The responsibility of being someone's emotional home before they're ready. Why they stay single the longest. Sagittarius is loyal to their future self. If they haven't met the version of life they dream about: travel, purpose, freedom, meaning they won't lock in. They'd rather be alone than feel limited. How to build a relationship with them correctly: don't chase them, invite them. Give them space and trust. They return to what feels safe. Share a mission, a plan, a dream, a direction. Sag commits to growth. Talk about the future in a way that feels open. We can build, not you must. When they dare to start a family, many Sagittarius types settle after 30, often 32-38, when they've experienced enough to choose stability on purpose, not out of pressure. They're most drawn to Aries, Leo, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, people who feel like partners in crime, not wardens. Aquarius: that I care deeply, from a safe distance runner. Aquarius doesn't always fall fast, but when they do, it can feel fated because they see your soul and your mind. They're loyal, unique, and surprisingly tender behind their cool surface. Yet the moment things become serious, Aquarius may suddenly detach or disappear, not because they don't feel, but because feeling too much scares them. What scares them in seriousness? Emotional dependence, theirs or yours. Losing individuality, privacy, autonomy. Traditional roles: partner must act like this, being required to perform constant emotional intensity. Aquarius often runs when love demands a daily emotional ritual they didn't agree to. They want depth, but they want it with oxygen. Why they stay single the longest? Because they don't want a relationship. They want a rare connection, friendship plus intellectual respect plus freedom plus loyalty. They refuse almost love. That high standard keeps them alone longer, but it also protects them from settling. How to build a relationship with them correctly. Be their friend first. Pressure kills the magic. Speak clearly, not dramatically. Respect their alone time as sacred, not suspicious. Create consistent rituals that don't feel suffocating. Weekly date, shared hobby. Don't try to fix their emotions, let them arrive naturally. When they dare to start a family, Aquarius often commits when they're sure love won't erase them, commonly 30-40, sometimes later, especially if they're career-driven or highly independent. They're most drawn to Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo signs who allow freedom and don't demand emotional control. Aries, the I want you until it requires patience runner. Aries falls in love like a spark hits gasoline. They're bold, decisive, protective, intensely present. In the early stage, Aries can make you feel like the main character in a movie. Big gestures, fast movement, clear desire. But when things become serious, Aries may suddenly pull back, not from boredom, but from pressure. Aries is terrified of feeling not enough. Serious relationships require emotional skills, listening, compromise, consistency, repairing conflict. Aries can do it, but if they feel criticized, controlled, or constantly evaluated, they'd rather disappear than sit in shame. What really scares them in a serious relationship? Being told they're too much or not enough. Losing freedom of action, constant rules, jealousy, monitoring. Slow emotional talks that feel like court trials. Feeling trapped in conflict they can't solve quickly. Why they stay single the longest? Aries is selective about the vibe. They'll date, but they won't settle into a dynamic where they feel tamed. Many Aries also chase goals, hard career, fitness, ambition, so relationships get dropped when they feel like a burden. How to build a relationship with them correctly. Be direct, not passive-aggressive. Aries respects clarity. Praise them honestly. Don't weaponize criticism. Let them lead sometimes, but keep boundaries calm and firm. Keep passion alive. Shared challenges, adventures, new plans. When conflict happens, short, clear conversations plus quick repair. When they dare to start a family, often 27-35, after they've proven themselves in the world and learned emotional self-control. Aries commits when they feel proud of the life they can offer. They're most drawn to Leo, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra signs that stimulate them and don't try to dominate them emotionally. Libra, the I love you, but what if I choose wrong? Runner. Libra can look like the most relationship-ready sign. Charming, romantic, attentive, tuned into your needs. They'll talk about the future, create beauty around you, make you feel adored. But when the relationship becomes serious, Libra can disappear in the strangest way, not with anger, with indecision. Libra's real fear is not commitment. It's commitment to the wrong person, the wrong timeline, the wrong version of life. When the stakes rise, Libra starts imagining every possible outcome and anxiety quietly replaces romance. They may avoid making a clear choice because clarity means responsibility. What really scares them in a serious relationship? The fear of regretting their decision. Conflict, emotional messiness, difficult conversations, being the bad person who disappoints someone, losing their identity inside a relationship's expectations. Why they stay single the longest? Libra can attract love easily, but they can overthink it to death. They often keep doors slightly open just in case, and that prevents the deep rooting that makes commitment feel safe. How to build a relationship with them correctly. Create emotional safety, not emotional chaos. Don't force ultimatums too early. Libra shuts down. Ask clear questions and accept clear answers even if slow. Make decisions together in small steps. Libra builds courage through practice. Keep romance alive, but add structure, regular plans, shared goals. When they dare to start a family, often 30-38, when they've learned their values and can choose without panic. Libra commits when the relationship feels peaceful, equal, and elegant, not dramatic. They're most drawn to Gemini, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries signs that energize them and help them choose confidently. Pisces, the I feel everything, so I vanish runner. Pisces can love like poetry. They see the best in you, forgive easily, give tender care, and create emotional magic. They may fall fast and deeply, sometimes so deeply that it scares even them. When the relationship becomes serious, Pisces can run for one main reason: seriousness turns fantasy into reality. Reality includes boundaries, finances, routines, disappointments, conflict. Pisces doesn't fear love, they fear pain. If they sense that a serious relationship might eventually hurt them, they may disappear first to avoid the wound. Another Pisces pattern: they merge too much, lose themselves, then flee to breathe. What really scares them in a serious relationship: being abandoned after becoming emotionally dependent. Harsh conflict, coldness, criticism, feeling responsible for someone's happiness, losing their own identity, dreams, or inner world. Why they stay single the longest: Pisces often waits for soulmate energy. They'd rather be alone than in a relationship that feels emotionally dry. They also can get caught in situationships where they give too much without clarity, then leave exhausted. How to build a relationship with them correctly: offer reassurance through actions, not speeches. Be gentle with truth, direct but kind. Set healthy boundaries early, Pisces secretly needs them. Don't play hot and cold games, Pisces disappears when confused. Create rituals of safety, consistency, affection, emotional check-ins. When they dare to start a family, commonly 28-36, once they learn boundaries and choose a partner who feels stable, warm, and emotionally mature, they're most drawn to Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo signs that anchor them and make love feel safe in the real world. The one rule that keeps all of these signs from running: if you want a disappearing sign to stay, don't try to catch them. Create a relationship that feels like freedom plus clarity. Freedom, space, trust, no emotional policing. Clarity, honest intentions, consistent behavior, calm boundaries. When love feels like a trap, they run. When love feels like a choice they're proud to make, they stay, and they become surprisingly loyal.